Hello and good morning. All right, this is a topic that I get asked about a lot, or you see getting asked a lot on Facebook pages and things. And it's how do I host remotely? I don't live near my home or I don't live near my holiday home. How do I remotely host that? Really easy for me. I've never had a choice. I've never had a choice. When I started, I lived 2 hours from the property where I started with my little granny flat. And so I always knew that I was going to not be able to do this myself. And I really don't like cleaning. Um, so I knew that I was going to have to get a cleaning team in place, and I knew I was going to have people on the ground. It was nothing I ever considered doing myself. And then I was always, and I didn't know I was going to grow to be as big as I am now with as many properties that I look after. So even if I was doing it myself, I wouldn't have the lifestyle that I have now. I'm just about to plan my trip to Thailand and to Vietnam. And if I didn't have my team on the ground or the people on the ground, I wouldn't be able to go. And look, I know I've been places before and, there's on holidays and there's been 11 turnovers, while I've been away. I just can't do that. There's just no possible way. So if you want to have a life and you want to be out there and you want to be able to do things, you need to get a really great team on the ground. Now, I call them my A team. All right. So this is going to be about how I host remotely and building up my A team. I've also bought investment properties a long way from where I live as well. So, I wouldn't buy technically sort of investment properties where I live here because you're just not going to make the money. You're not going to get the return on them here. So now don't forget, if you want to contact me, there is my email. There is jpgroup112@gmail.com. And there's lots of information there on hostit.net.au. All right, so we're still developing this page and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the YouTube channel. Always contact me if you feel like you've got any questions or if you've got a topic that you'd like me to talk about, please just drop me an email. I'm more than happy to have topics to talk about. All right, so we're going to talk about building the A team. All right, what you're going to need, you are going to need 24-hour trades in your phone. You're going to need a sparky, a plumber, maintenance, and gardener, and a pool guy if you've got a pool, or pool person, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Gardeners, obviously, not if you've got units, but, trades relevant to what sort of property that you have. Now, got to remember that in Australia, sparkies and plumbers, if you've got work that's electrical work or plumbing, it must be done by a licensed electrician or plumber. All right, you can't just send a maintenance guy in, but having a maintenance guy on hand is fantastic. Have someone that you can call absolutely for small jobs. But if it requires a trade, you must have a licensed trade. Now, I find these community pages, Facebook community pages are just fantastic for this sort of thing. Go in there and look for a plumber or look for a sparky and then call them and say, hey, look, do you do short-term rental? Make sure they understand short-term rental. So my plumber that we use up here, he's amazing. His name's Jamie, and he does just maintenance work. He's not out doing big commercial job. He's not building houses. He's not doing anything like that. So he just runs around in his van and does maintenance stuff. So he can always be there really quickly. Same with a sparky. Get someone that understands. They've got to be available 24/7. We've got a fantastic one that we actually found within our host club. So don't forget to join your local Airbnb host club if you haven't already. But that's where I found him. So he's a host himself. So he understands the urgency. So speak to them, get a rate, get a base rate, get a call out fee, long weekends or whatever. Just find out what they're going to be charging you as a base and ensure that they are a 24-hour trade or they can get there as quickly as possible. All right. Sometimes it's not that urgent that it has to be there, at 8 o'clock at night. And I'll go through some examples as I go through the slides. Maintenance, make sure you get a little maintenance guy. There's a lot of guys out there used to be, working in the trade. Some of them are sort of semi-retired. Excuse me, just having my tea. Are semi-retired, and they're great people to have on there as maintenance. Now, gardeners, oh man, I've had to I've had to get some gardeners organized this year. My goodness gracious me. I've just had a run with them. Make sure that your gardener has a really good not be reputation, but a really good routine. Like, so you need to get your guests know that they are coming. All right. Obviously, in summer, we need them more regularly, and winter, we don't need them as regularly. I try to get them on like a fortnightly basis or something like that, and I put them into my calendar, because you have to let guests know that they are coming. So please let your guests know that your gardener is going to arrive. And I normally have that in my diary, and I'll just message them the day before that says, hi, the gardener is due tomorrow, XYZ at such and such a time. Please don't have your gardeners turn up before 10 o'clock. I have had an incident once where a gardener turned up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, guests were not happy. So I never let my gardeners in before 10, and I always let the guests know the day before that the gardener will be coming. Same with the pool guys, okay? Unless it's obviously emergency and they have to go there. Man, I could tell you some stories about pools, but I'm trying to keep these as quick as possible, these little videos, because nobody wants to sit there and listen to me rattle on for an hour. Because you can always contact me if you have more questions. But get your pool guys on a regular basis, and let your guests know that the pool maintenance people will be there on a certain day. All right, because why you need these is because nothing is going to happen at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, okay? If there's an emergency or something goes down or something breaks, it will never be at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday. Now, this particular shower, I don't know why, we must have just got, it was a newly renovated property. We had the flip mixer die on it, 10 o'clock at night. Mark and I were actually asleep in the unit next door, and the guest came over banging on the door. Oh my God, talk about going. The dogs went off. We just had no idea what was going on. The flip mixer just stopped moving, stopped working. So luckily we were there, or we would have generally just directed him to turn the water off, and we would have had the plumber there the next day. Luckily, it was just a flip mixer, and Mark was able to, Mark's got multiple trades and things, and he's a licensed builder and carpenter, and so anyway, certificates for all sorts of things. But he was able to quickly get that flip mixer changed. So, or if it is an emergency, then you might have to call your emergency plumber. But if you can do something like, okay, look, turn the water off. We'll have someone there first thing in the morning tomorrow. When you need to use the water in the morning to fill up the jug or do whatever you need to do, turn it back on. The water's just going to run and run and run and run. Please go and turn the water back off. So that's what the guests did. But this here was a shower rose. Again, I don't know, that, like I said, this whole system that we bought for this new property must have had faults in it. We did take it back and get our money back. It was under warranty. But the shower rose just happened to fall off one day. So all these sorts of things, you've got to work out what's the difference between it's urgent, it has to be fixed now, like hot water. We have had hot water systems die. Look, Easter this year at a property that I manage. Oh my goodness. Anyway, always have your trades on hand. Pay your trades the day you get your invoice. The better you look after the trades, the better they will look after you, okay? So as soon as I get my invoices from these guys, I pay them straight away. They know I'm a great customer. Then as soon as I need them and it's urgent, they will be there for me, because they go, yep, no, Sewer Market, great. They pay their bills on time when we get them. So please pay your trades on time, okay? They went out, they helped you, they jumped in their car or their van and went to help you. Make sure you pay them, okay? It's really, really important. Now, your cleaner is the top of your food chain. I adore my cleaners. Okay, they are amazing. They are gold to me. And there goes a war. No, something on my computer's telling me I've got to be doing something. So I have turned my phone off. The cleaners at the top of your food chain, they are just amazing. And I don't even like the word clean. I like they're my caretakers. They are your everything. If you get a really good cleaner, I think my dogs are about to go off. I might have to pause this for a second. I think the post is on his way. Treat them like gold. Please treat them with respect, okay? They do an amazing job. They should alert you to all sorts of things. With mine and how I work, and it can be different for everybody, but I like to play the swings and roundabouts game. Hang on, I'm going to have to pause this for 1 second, everyone. Okay, we're back on. Hopefully that hasn't interrupted things too much. Okay, this is the tricky bit about doing it at this time of day, doing these recordings, is when the post is due. So look, I pay them on what I call like a swings and roundabouts, and I'm really, because we need flexibility in this business. Okay, we get last minute bookings, we have turnovers on Sundays, we do all those sorts of things. Look, my cleaners actually like to work weekends because that gives them time to do things during the week. They might have Tuesdays, Wednesdays off or something like that, depending on the bookings. Like I've recently had my knee replaced, and I remember going to all my appointments going, how would someone with a 9 to 5 job do this? I don't know. With the amount of appointments and things that I had to go and do and places I had to be during the week, I just don't know how anyone would do it with a 9 to 5 job. So flexibility is great for this job. So please make sure that they can do your 7 days a week, that they're going to be flexible. They're able to do turnovers, or what can sometimes be called a back-to-back, where a guest leaves the same day another guest arrives, okay? You've got to be able to be there at short notice, so they've got to be really flexible with that. And do your shopping as well. All my cleaners will do my shopping for the top-up. So all your tea, coffee, sugar, all your essentials and things like that, they will do that for me as well. And little extras is required. I've had to run off to Big W and pick up, things that have broken. I do click and collects. You can also order things online and have them delivered to them. Okay, so I've bought linen from Kmart and have it delivered to my cleaners. You can even do the shopping online and have it delivered to their property. Most of them would like to do the top-ups themselves because they're going to be in the shop while they're at your property. They write themselves a shopping list and they just pick it up, and then they'll just add that to my invoice. So when I'm talking about swings and roundabouts as well, like I'll get like a set time and I'll say, okay, it should take you about 2 hours to do this. Or we establish a bit of a time and go X amount per hour. Okay, so it'll be a job rate. All right. And so we say, okay, so that's going to be $100 to do this job. And that includes the linen for me. I'm very, very grateful that my cleaners do my linen as well for me, but I'll get to what other people do as we go along. So where do I find them? All right. I find them in local papers and Facebook community pages. I think now are the best. Back in the day with the local papers, but not so much now. That's more converted to Facebook community pages. Pop on there, use the search bar, look for a cleaner, or your Facebook Airbnb community page is a great way to source cleaners. But look, they are amazing. My cleaners are my everythings. Okay, so to help them as well, I have my styling book and I have my checklist. So my styling book has in the front of it the checklist of all the things I have, like do tea, coffee, sugar, milk, mozzie coils, all those sorts of things, everything that you need to do on a turnover, even down to say like change linen. I mean, that's a given, but I have these in the checklist and they don't have to do it in that order. Just these are the things. So at the end of the clean, they can go, yep, done all that. Oh, I forgot to put the dishwasher tablets out. Oh, I'll quickly go and grab those. So everything that we do and supply is in the checklist. And then there's a monthly checklist as well, like things like to check the fans or to do, they do windows on rotation and stuff like that for me as well. Okay, the advanced cleaning protocol sheet. We don't really need that anymore. We can get rid of that. That was a COVID thing. And that's at the front of what I call my styling book, is the checklist of the things that I'd like them to do and double check, down to tissues, paper towel, all that sort of stuff. Also in that, I have photos of how I like the property to look. So this is how this bed looks. This is how bedroom 2 looks. This is how the lounge room looks, like where I like the cushions to be. Because I have a particular property, I've got this beautiful big grey occasional chair and of this gorgeous anchor. And as you walk into that property, you see this beautiful chair with this anchor, because that property is called Anchors Away. So, think about those sorts of things, because where the dog cushions are, where the cereal, where the dog treat jar is, where the tea, coffee, sugar canisters are, I have things set in a certain way. And if you've seen my styling videos, things have got to look a certain way, because first impressions really count. So I even like to show where the checklist on my in my styling book, how I like the sponges to be left, how I like the sink to look, where I like the chucks to be. Things like that are really, really important to me. Again, it's that first impression as the guest walks in the door. Now, this is just a cute message. I have had this little clip and this slide for many, many, many years. This is my beautiful, amazing cleaner, Tracy at Coolum. Now, I got this one night and it said, had a little craft night, doing some puppy's bones in advance, back in the cupboard next clean. And you can see that that is dated at 8:12 p.m. So my cleaner is sitting at home putting curling ribbons around dog biscuits for me. She's just amazing. Just amazing. So we just adore her. You get someone that does that, puts the time in. And I love when I get notes from guests or 5-star reviews for cleans, or people actually mention the cleaners and how clean they are. I'll always make sure that the cleaners see those. So this will be things in the styling book. Oh, we've sadly recently lost Scooby, this beautiful guest. But things that you do in the styling book. So here for me, it's really important. This photo album is like this, and this chair is left in this position so that it looks welcoming. A lot of this furniture has changed now, but it still gives you the idea. This is how I like these things to be set. This is how I like the books to look when they come into this particular little flat. I want all the brochures to be like that. I want the tea, coffee, and sugar canisters to be here. And this is how we leave a welcome. Look, my welcome book is completely different now. Different things like that, but we like the sign that says their name. We want the pancake mix on one side and things like that. So, you know, zips and cushions, make sure the zips and cushions are down. How I want the brochures to be laid out. Like I said before, where my sponges go is very important to me. Where the tea, coffee, sugar canisters go. The way the chair sits in a study area. The way the throws are gone. The way the beds look. Which feature cushion goes on which bed. All these things are really, really important to me. Now, linen, and more linen, okay? I will do a video on how much of what you need, okay? That'll be coming in the future. But linen, you'll never have enough, to be honest. You'll need at least 3 sets of linen per bed, because you need enough for a changeover and a spare. You will also, because there will be a mark on it one day, and if you've only got 2 sets and you've got a turnover and there's a mark on it, or we have particularly bad weather, or the things will just go wrong. Always have 3 sets of linen minimum. Okay, so you've got to work out who's going to do it. Is the cleaner going to drop it at a laundromat? Like, thankfully, again, I'm very grateful that my cleaners do my cleaning for me. However, we have them, are they going to drop it at a laundromat? Or are they going to hire it? Hiring is very expensive. Laundry services can be really expensive. So you've got to consider these in your cleaning fees. Okay, so you've got to look at that when you're employing your cleaner as well. So once you've got a good cleaner, I actually have them on as co-hosts on my property, so they can see the calendar and they can see what's going on as well. But if you've got your team set on the ground, starting with the top of the tree, which is your cleaner, you can do this remotely. Okay, because all you need to do then is message. Communication is key. Communicate with your cleaners, communicate with your trades, communicate with your gardener, communicate with all those sorts of people. You know, and then I do go and check up on the properties as well. I do call in and look at them all the time. And guests are the first to tell you if something hasn't been working or something hasn't been cleaned or something's going wrong. So hopefully that has helped you. I think hosting remotely is very, very easy. I've never had a choice. And just have trust in your team, okay? You've got to have trust in your team, communicate, set what your intentions are of what you need them to do, okay? What you need them to do. And if they aren't able to do that, if they aren't able to do the 7 days a week, if they can't do the short notice, if they can't do all these things that you need, then maybe you need to find a different team or a team member for that. So hopefully that has helped you. And I will come up with, maybe the next video will be how much of what you need. All right. So I will catch you all in the next lesson.